There we go. Hitting that thumbs up, hitting that subscribe if you have not already. I see two people in the guest box. I will let you guys up in like 10 seconds. Let me just do my YouTube stream, and then we can do into the debates. In the meantime, make sure you guys are double tapping that phone screen, repost the live, share the live, do all the good things. We have some news while I do this real quickly. Yesterday night, Russia something entered Polish airspace. "96 days until midterms? Is it 96 or 97? Damn, I don't remember. Think of the rounds. Is it 96? 96? Days until midterms. Live debates with MAGA. 96? I should be. Alright. Why am I not talking about Fauci? Fauci is a national hero. Fauci did absolutely nothing wrong. He is a national hero, and he got our country through a global.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, bro, why are you LARPing? I've
What do
talked
you
to you
mean?
like 2 different times.
No, you haven't.
I promise you I have. Heard me as quote-unquote Jeremiah.
No,
Only
it's
people
just
who
because
I've
it's
talked
your
to more than
username.
5 times I've talked to.
No. Just listen to me, Jeremiah. I
Bro.
love you. Mwah.
Yo, you haven't been up here in a long time. I haven't heard your voice. My bad. Alright, bro, why are you... Yo, that's crazy. I just saw your username. I saw Jinxie. How's it going? Do you support Donald Sloppy Dump?
Daddy.
Why are you calling me
You
daddy,
remember
you
me.
weirdo?
You remember
No, I
me.
didn't.
Like, this guy keeps calling me daddy.
Oh my god, you're back, bro. Bro, what are we doing? Stop calling me daddy.
Whoa,
Hello?
you're not gonna like this, Jeremiah.
What the fuck? Moving on to the next guest. Alright, whoa. Alright, there's 3 people. One, Jinxie. You know, Jinxie, he's chill. He gets
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
I am.
No, you're not. Moving on to I'm ready for more, quote unquote. Alright. Are you the one? Hold on. Are you the one that's always in the 6 months ago in the bath? I don't remember who that was. Moving on to Liam Taylor. Make sure you guys are double tap that phone screen, repost the live, share the live, do all the good things. Hello, do you support
What's up?
Donald Sloppy? How old are you, buddy?
15.
You gotta be 18 older, man. Galactic, I feel like I just lit up here. You're getting permanent. That was me in the bath. I fucking remember you. I remember you were in the fucking baths. Every single time you would come up here, you were always in the bathtub. You guys are double tap that phone screen. If you're ever on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe. I've been spam posting on YouTube. I've posted 6 videos in total today. Notice. Hello, are you a troll?
Bro, I'm so fucking hard. I'm so fucking hard.
I didn't mean to let you. Greatly appreciate that. How's it going? How old are you?
Yo, my grand supports Trump. Can I put her on?
Alright, bro. Alright, bro. Let's go on to I have tiny hands.
Yeah, my name's William Tucker. Been sport party since 1995. Driven all the way.
Oh my days. Annihilate him, mods. Annihilate. We went to user. You a Trump supporter user.
What's up? Former Trump supporter, but yeah, for the most part, I guess.
How old, what year were you born in?
1999.
If you could go back in time, vote for Trump or Harris, who would you vote for?
I would not vote for.
Will that work on your own? I swear, if I see Galactic one more time, I'm gonna annihilate Galactic. In a non-violent way, just gotta clarify. Fauci's an American hero. Someone said that they were gonna follow my YouTube in the chat. Oh, you're in the bath and that weirds me out. The idea of someone having no clothes on while debating me is quite weird. On TikTok, just easier. It's the same. I'm on every single platform. It's like the same username on Threads, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I think because I obviously need to see Trump's Truth Social posts, but we went to Poppy. Florida AG is going after Fauci. Listen, as long as he pleads the fifth, he can't. How old are you?
I'm 18.
Alright, why do you support Sloppy Donald?
Well, if I'm being honest, I don't really support him for a lot of reasons. I am on a full ride scholarship, an athletic scholarship, for women's lacrosse. I'm from Texas, and I'm going to Pennsylvania. Full ride. I'm super passionate. Oh, okay. All right.
Yes? Is that it? Okay, they left. Well, you gotta be in the...
Oh, yeah, sorry. I thought my microphone was just tweaking. That's my fault.
No, but you want men out of women's sports, right?
Well, it's specifically the executive order that he signed that I see, because that creates severe competition in the NCAA, in that program, especially because it's all to Division III. And when you're competing with biological women, yet alone, and you have men that already have that biological advantage, it's it's easier for men to gain muscle mass. That's literally just a proven biological fact compared to women. We at the only example I can get, and just
Well, after multiple years of HRT, which is a requirement, there actually is no biological advantage now tall females to be in women's sports, because that's a disadvantage. Right, my argument would just be a trans woman is a woman, and trans women should be in women's spaces, sports, etc., etc. But that would just be my argument. I see no reason as to why trans women should be in men's sports, or why trans women or trans individuals should have.
I see where you're coming from, but honestly, from somebody who I actually am a personal trainer too, like that's my job that I do. Also, when you add substances like creatine involved too, men have faster retention with that. And if you do the same workout split, which I was trying to explain earlier, every day, the same sport, men literally just gain results faster. It's a scientific and biological fact. Unfortunately, height has nothing to do with it. Speed too, because when you gain more muscle, that affects your speed, it affects your overall athletic advantage. Water retention, men have it just
You're saying like a scientific consensus among among specialists that say that trans women, even that compete in women's sports, still have a biological advantage that isn't something that they quite literally can't control, like height, etc., etc., etc.
like there are multiple.
That proves that trans women, after multiple years of HRT, still have a biological advantage of something that they can. I would love to see that.
Well, I mean, one example, I mean, obviously, I can't pull up a scientific study right now because if I exit the app, you won't be able to hear me. But just off the top of my head, there's actually an influence to be. I'm forgetting what her dead name was, but she used to be a competitive men's wrestler in the like she would do that competitively. Makes like health and like fitness videos now, and she is still benching and lifting more than anyone ever could, just being on the hormones and like being a transition
Competitively?
yes, competitively.
Okay, she dominating? What's her name?
Her I'm not
I would need to see her ranks before and after. I would need to determine whether or not she's dominating, as well as other that's not dominating, and it's actually worse than what she was than what she was doing prior. I don't remember her name. But there's a lot of instances cheating in women's sports that just doesn't exist. It's such a non-issue. There's like 14 trans women in the NCAA. Plus, Donald Trump has done nothing for trans women in women's sports in general. That go into a women's sports if you're not a woman,
well, I
by
mean
my
that's
definition.
that's kind of exactly what it is though, because it's
Can we
outlawed.
agree that trans women are still in women's sports right now?
Well, not in the
14 trans women in the NCAA and, at all. So I don't really care about like 14 people. I care about in general,
well,
like in general society.
I obviously like drug trafficking is legal, but that still
I don't know
happens.
what your source said. It's illegal. It's not
What?
illegal.
Well, if you sign participating in
Who writes
women's
laws?
sports, I'm sorry,
Who writes laws? Which part of the government?
the legislative.
Okay. Is the president part of the?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the president part of the legislative branch?
Hold on, give me a minute. I think my phone is freaking out. Hold on.
Are we back?
Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm working on it.
You're good. Take your
Okay.
time. Branch.
Oh, no, but he still approves the laws though because it has to go through the general, like, he
This
still has to
executive
sign
order
it.
didn't go through Congress, right? Or like the executive branch. Congress writes laws, which is the legislative branch, right? They write laws, and then the president signs them into law, right? This will trans women to go into women's sports. Do you think trans women should go into women's restrooms?
Well, I mean, consider myself MAGA. I just really support this one thing because I feel very
This
strongly
executive
about
order
it.
did nothing.
But if it's signed by Congress, then it will.
It
And the
didn't get
fact
signed by Congress, and it won't get. After that, Democrats are going to take back the House and the Senate, and then after that, we're going to nuke the filibuster, and then after that, we're going to implement 13 Supreme Court justices and redo every. Won't have anything. Actually, maybe even 8 years, if not 12 years. Trans women will be able to participate in women's sports.
I mean, it's not necessarily going to happen though, because it all happens on the vote.
Democrats are expected to win the House, and the Senate, even if it's a slim majority. Call to nuke the filibuster. I think the filibuster is anti-American, anti-constitutional, right? And they're gonna do that. The next step would just be the thing that Donald Trump did. It's very plausible, and then a Democrat could most likely win in 2028, depending on how the next 2 years of the Trump administration.
Right now, that doesn't seem too bright of a future, especially
statistically, Democrats have a higher chance of taking back the House and the Senate.
Oh, well, I mean,
5 percentage points. Arizona, they're all polling higher.
Okay, well, I don't really see what that has to do with the topic of trans women in sports.
Because the point you said, conciliation bill, they can't even nominate Todd Blanche to be Attorney General. They can't do something so simple as a nominee to be Attorney General. You think Congress right now is going to be able to pass a very, very controversial bill? Absolutely not. It's controversial, right? And you want to know why? It's because Congress, Republicans in Congress, Trump primaried them out, and they're not. That's Trump's own fault. Meaning Trump isn't going to be able to pass pretty much anything. And we're seeing that he can't pass the Save America Act, he can't nominate Todd Blanche, etc., etc. Just banning trans individuals from being in their relative sports.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that Trump's term actually does end in sure what you're talking about with the limited time, because as long as he's in office, that bill is always a possibility. It always has a possibility.
Not if Democrats have them
in office, and I'm not saying this from a MAGA perspective. As long as Trump is in office and he has his cabinet officials, then the power is going to be more on his side, and the cabinet, how Trump is able to work around the system.
Yeah, that's when he has the majority, right?
Yes, and he has the majority right now, so what makes
and guess what they're not doing in part of banning trans individuals? They haven't passed any bill except for the one big beautiful bill. They haven't been able to nominate Todd Blanche as AG. They are not doing anything because Republicans are split. Probably dead, allegedly. Like, they're not getting shit done, and they only have 96 days until Democrats win back the House and the Senate. And then after that, we're going to start impeachment trial.
And nothing happened.
He got impeached twice.
It wasn't successful. He remained.
Impeachment was successful. Removal was not. The House impeached him and the Senate to remove him. Right? The only two ways a president can be removed is the 25th Amendment or the Senate, right? The House, in specific, impeaches him. So they impeached him twice, which would I never said he would get removed. I said he would get impeached again.
I don't know. You just seem really confident jumping from Congress to impeachment already.
Nice. Yes, impeachment. If bro, what makes you think they won't do it again? They have grounds, war crimes. They have grounds to impeach him. Hello?
Well, that wasn't successful last time. I'm just going
It
off
was
of
success.
and honestly, impeachment means
Removal is different from impeachment.
I'm telling you right now, impeachment means basically nothing if removal isn't successful. What good does impeachment do?
Does not support the president. It is not willing to work with the president in order to pass legislation and actually pressures Congress, the cabinet, right? Because it's all about pressure. It's all about public pressure. If the House acts, if 435 people act, or a majority of them act to impeach Donald Trump, then the pressure.
Knowing that he's impeached if he was already impeached twice in his previous term. I'm just saying.
Right. So the point is, nothing is going to happen. Trans individuals aren't banned.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not specifically talking about any opportunity to get scholarships. If trans women continue to take regardless of whether or not Congress signs off on that, regardless of whether or not it's illegal, as long as Trump.
I think trans women are women.
Okay, well, biologically speaking, it makes.
Okay, let me give you a hypothetical scenario. There's a child that's born intersex, has both a genitalia and has XXY. The doctor makes the decision to just keep one of the genitalia, i.e., the male genitalia, and the child is of women to be and men to be specific different things biological and then physique as well. So they present as a woman. They have XXY, and then as they grow up, they're obviously they have a male genitalia, but they're referred to as a boy. But then as they continue growing up, they are transitioning, right? Because they were referred to as a boy growing up, they had male genitalia, or would you say that they are detransitioning since the doctor made should be allowed into girls' sports / women's sports when grown up?
I would say that the majority of trans, a hypothetical that
point. It's a hypothetical to prove. It's a hypothetical to prove to determine whether or not your logic applies to all.
No, happens to barely anybody in the population, and
even if it happened to no one, it is logically possible to happen. Meaning, if there is a contradiction within your
special case outside of my statement that
would they be a woman or a man when they grow up? Would they be a woman or a man?
It would depend on the situation, like I said, and that hypothetical.
Where they have XXY, they had both genitalia, and the doctor decided to only keep one without anyone knowing. By the way, this has happened. It has an physique, whatever you take that to be, as well as the way they act, the way they carry themselves.
Well, that's neither a man or a woman, though, and honestly, I don't know. If I'm being straight up, since this happens to barely any people, I haven't done enough research on the XY, on that difference in being intersex, research on that to come to a conclusion and properly answer your question, because I don't believe in answering questions without doing my research and forming a proper educated opinion. So I can't really answer. If I take the time to do research and learn about being intersex and what comes with that.
I can just give you a more simple hypothetical. This happens as sorry, continue with what you were saying. I forgot what I was saying. Sorry.
Oh, you're all good. You're all good. Said if you wanted to take the intersex path, I really can't take that path because I prefer to be educated before I give my opinion on something, so I don't sound like a clown. Like I said, I can't really pull up the studies right now because if I leave, then my phone.
Okay, let me just. Okay, I remember what I was gonna say. A most simple hypothetical. Let's say in this happens, it's a man, right, male genitalia, but they have XX chromosomes, and they never know they do because they never get it checked, which is, by the way, possible. It is very possible. Chromosomes of what we think. Are you saying that they are now a woman because they have XX?
I think you could just look in your pants and figure out which chromosomes you
Okay,
have.
so now it's not chromosomes, right? Chromosomes, XX chromosomes. That happens more often.
Do you
than
have
the
a
last hypothetical.
percentage of how often that happens? Because
I
I
think 20%.
I've-
Never heard of that.
no, not at all.
Let me see. I pulled up
I
the study last time.
I have heard of intersex.
Well, I mean, yes, it is rare. Give me a second.
I don't know. I'm not trying
let's
to tell you that you're wrong. I just don't believe that that's 20% of the population.
I think it might be
has
20%
separate-
of intersex individuals. I'm not sure, but let me just fact.
I believe from my minimal knowledge that I do have of like intersex and like like inner child from what I know, like I said, I'm kind of uneducated on this subject, but from what I do know is that it leaves people unaware because it's pretty much like mild.
Right, I guess you could never be 100% certain, which is what I was trying to say. So it is very possible for us to think that we have XY, XX, and then have the 3,000 male births. That is according to are men XX chromosome truths revealed. 1 out of every 20,000. Which percentage-wise, I don't know what that would be.
So it's very rare, and it's mild and it unaffects the sports. And I guess if it's mild, then there's really no
happen at all. It is just logically possible. And you said that a woman is XX chromosome, so are you saying that this man has a male genitalia chromosomes? Are you saying that they're a man or a woman?
I would have to. It depends on the person because it can be interchangeable.
Be interchangeable. That's exactly my point.
No, but that's
sex isn't just drawn on biological aspects of it. You just proved my point.
no, but certain sex path, then it doesn't apply to my point of trans women because trans women who do have
I'm investigating your definition of a woman. XX chromosome. So by your definition, this man is a woman under your worldview.
Well, yes, if they have the normal.
Hold on. So, like, if I went to go check to see what chromosomes I have right now, and it came out to be that I had XX chromosomes, you would think I'm a woman.
Yes, but that's because gender and sex are two. Sorry, you can identify as a man, but biologically you're a woman. That's why I don't.
You can't be you just agreed. Sex and gender are different. You can't be a biological woman and man. I think that's what you're confusing here.
Okay.
Because if you think I would be a woman, if I had XX chromosomes, that's absurd. Hello? Like, I thought you were just basing on genitalia as well. Earlier, you were basing it on other factors? Like, are you saying it's literally based upon chromosomes?
No,
Want me in
sex.
women's sports, right?
Sorry?
If I had XX chromosomes, right, nothing else about me changed, you would want me in women's sports. Just to clarify, right? No,
Sex chromosomes, then yes, I would want you in women's sports.
bro, absurd.
Because if you would like to identify as a man, then that's fine. But if you had
I
XX
would.
chromosomes, you
Yes,
wouldn't.
I would. Yes. Yes.
You would have facial hair.
It is yes, it is logically possible. And if it's mild, it is logically possible. And you're saying I would belong in women's spaces. Just to clarify, that's your position. Me.
Like a woman though, and I don't know what you're
So
talking
do
about
I
with
belong
that
in
being-
women's spaces or no? If I had XX chromosomes.
It's not necessarily women's.
Had XX chromosomes.
If you had XX chromosomes, then biologically, sure, you have a right to be in women's sports. But I have personally, besides like the bearded lady, like circus stereotypes of a woman with a beard and have like muscle capacity and well,
This is fucking insane.
I've
It's
never
just like
heard
absolutely
of that.
absurd.
I don't know how that's absurd that I've never heard of. Okay.
If that becomes an issue, you're gonna get permanently banned. Just saying. By the way,
Okay.
it's been wow. Yeah, I just think that's absurd. Because you're arguing that men shouldn't be in women's sports.
Wondering, are you saying that you can only be in women's sports based on how you look instead of your chromosomes? Because if you have
I'm
XX,
saying you can be in women.
you should automatically have a right to participate in women's sports because biologically
Having
you are
XX chromosomes
considered a
doesn't
woman.
make you a woman.
Then
Hypothetical scenario of the XXY,
very
both
rare.
genitalia, where the doctor only keeps one, and then they grow up, and then they
There-
actually. I'm asking you whether they detransition because of the lack of
Yes.
knowledge. My point is, you are not able to say in every circumstance a woman is someone who has XX chromosomes.
Because you're talking about a very,
It
very
doesn't matter if I'm talking about a
No,
0.00004%.
because
It is logically possible. It is
No.
logically possible for it to happen.
but it's a very rare scenario, and
It
you're
doesn't
literally
matter.
talking,
There's a scenario for trans women to be in women's sports. So why are you bringing it up?
There's
What percentage
always,
of trans women are in women's sports? What percentage?
okay. There's always a gray area
Less
in
than 1%,
everything.
right?
No, excuse me, in that situation
That would
because
still be a
it's so rare.
contradiction.
And
If
it's
they're
literally
anything but a woman, if they're
It's-
anything but a woman, that is a contradiction for
it's
either
literally
hypothetical.
a genetic mutation. Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
so then they technically have no sex then.
Okay, so they have no sex.
Yes, which is why it's a gray area. I believe that's why intersex is its own thing. That's why
So is intersex its own sex?
I mean I
Says, which means there's more than two genders, right? So you think there's at least three genders?
no, well I mean yeah, because
And
I
that's also
think
a contradiction.
no, because I believe that gender and sex are completely different.
So then do you think-
Biologically, there are two sexes. There's male and female. That rare scenario where it's literally a genetic mutation.
It isn't okay.
causing
Again, with the rare scenario, everyone understands that it's rare. My point is, you think there are three sexes, which means
their gender. Gender is completely social.
okay. So an
That's
intersex
just
an
biological.
intersex person can choose their gender. Gender is a construct.
Yes. It's a social construct.
Woman is someone with XX chromosomes. That is not a social. XX chromosomes is not a social construct. That is based on biology. Do you think a female is someone who has XX chromosomes? Because if so, generally speaking, yes.
If you want to pick and pull this apart on if
Saying a woman is someone who has X. Okay, let's restart. What is your definition of a woman?
I believe that. Okay, no, but before I answer this, I want you to know, because you seem to be identifies that way, or female is someone who is born that way. Because
female is someone who is it has biological aspects in reference
that I've been calling it the wrong thing in your viewpoint, and then you just want to say that a woman is someone who identifies that way?
No, a woman is going to be an adult aligned with the female sex, not generally, but typically.
Right, so someone who identifies that way, you could have just said that. Okay, so I apologize.
I mean, they have to have a desire to be in a core definition that I actually just was looking into, which is gonna be the fact that like a woman is gonna it's some people say it's circular, but a woman is someone that identifies two different identities of the word woman. All right, one is in reference to like a woman is going to be a social construct. The same way I can prove this like a German is someone who identifies as a woman isn't circular either. But my point is, I mean, I gave you my definition of woman, so now I'd like you to answer my question. What is a woman?
Yes. Okay, a female is someone who is biologically born with those chromosomes. I apologize, I was using woman kind of as like a blanket term because I believe that I broadly. So yes, female is someone who's born biologically with XX chromosomes. If you would like to go with your definition,
what is a woman?
A social construct with that gender.
So you think trans women are women?
Well, I mean, yeah, fair.
Okay, so you want to base sports, female and male, not women and men.
I think that it's
either sex or gender. That's the only way it can go. Sex or gender, female and male, or men and women.
It's a rocky area because
it's really not.
No, it is though, because if you bring if you have a higher biological advantage, women biologically are slightly weaker than men. So if you bring a trans man into men's sport, be hypocritical. It should be outlawed for both sides. But it is a rocky area.
So you just don't want trans people to play sport. You're saying a whole group of individuals cannot do this certain action. That's kind of discrimination, man. Isn't that psychologically different and I'm superior to you? You know?
I mean,
isn't it the same thing as black people can't drink out of the white water fountain because they're black? You're saying
not really. There's a reason why they have separate men and women leagues, because they play on two different calibers. Because there's
on women, then trans women would compete in women's sports and trans men would compete in men's sports. What is the difference between you saying that trans people shouldn't compete because you want to make it equal for both sides out of this water fountain because you're black?
It has nothing to do with race, though, because sports should remain biological.
Right, but what is the difference between the justification out of the water fountain because they're black? What is the difference?
Okay, I don't even how am I supposed to explain this to you? I feel like it's obvious because black people don't have a biological advantage.
And trans men have biological advantages to playing in sports, therefore they should be segregated and banned and barred from playing sports.
Necessarily like segregated. I just think that in the one scenario
one last question. Where does a trans woman play for sports? Where does she play?
Can I finish? You
Go ahead.
let me finish.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just talking about in the one scenario where they're competing. It's different in a bathroom or in a school. That is different. Biologically, they do have an advantage, and you can't just ignore that. And as an athlete, it's difficult to ignore that, especially in a competitive league.
Or should they not play?
Honestly, I think that to promote like inclusivity and stuff like that, like why not create like special leagues? Have new special leagues for sports that are other. I'm just talking about like competitive leagues, like
So
professional sports and competitive leagues. No, because professional sports.
So we're talking about professional sports, right? Where should a trans woman play?
Well, I don't really know how to answer that because there are no professional sports for both men and WNBA. They're separate.
Together. Yes, a trans woman wants to play basketball. Where does she go?
But
the men's sports or the women's sports? Under your worldview,
woman is biologically a man, and they don't have men and women play together in those professional sports.
So if you think they're biologically a man, quote unquote, then you think they should play in the men's sports. So you think trans women should be in men's sports and trans men be in women's sports?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Are as strong, or if not stronger, than cis men.
Well, if you'd like to show me a study, then that's fine.
Yeah, I gotta pull up the article.
So then, are you just saying that there's hormone advantages then? Because they should be able to play either way.
A trans man, but yeah, you can make your point.
So then if they have an advantage from the hormones, then they shouldn't be able to play, period, based on the same logic that if you use steroids, you're not
right,
allowed.
But I'm not the one saying trans men shouldn't be in men's sports. I'm not saying that. You are. You're saying that.
Okay, well, if we're looking at it from using, like...
The NI change, the impact of gender-affirming hormone, hormone therapy on physical performance. That's my source. And trans women play in women's sports. You're saying trans men play in women's sports and trans women play in men's sports. That's what you're saying. So that would be actually an argument against...
other
solutions. So then why do you support like the executive order if you don't know what you want or you don't know what you're talking about?
No, I know what I'm talking about.
And does go play in women's sports then? Yes?
I don't know. I don't know where they would go.
You just said you do!
Because you're painting me into a corner.
In my view, after, but right now I'm asking you a questions of productive dialogue to be able to investigate your view to determine whether or not your view upholds in all scenarios.
It's not even an argument of sex at this
It's
point.
not
It's
the argument I'm making. That's the argument. That's what your argument is reduced down to.
do have an advantage due to hormones, then this isn't even this is yet another reason why it needs to be taken care of, because it's not an issue with sex ed.
Can we agree that some cis women also could, some cis women could have that advantage as well?
I mean,
That advantage.
okay, but cis women aren't allowed to be taking those supplements. There's a reason why they test people for that.
Have higher testosterone, lower estrogen, and it is also the case that some men have higher estrogen and lower testosterone, right? It just is the case that some men will not be able to play in women's sports, or a cis man that has higher estrogen, lower testosterone should play in a women's sports, and a woman who has higher testosterone and lower estrogen should play.
A 2% slight higher bit of testosterone, then it's not gonna make an impact like you think it is. However, with trans women, it 1000.
We're just going in circles. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Well, no, this is like my one argument, so this is like the one thing that I said.
This is
Like
why you support Donald Trump. There's literally no other reason we're going into sports, right?
Nah, if I'm being dead ass, I actually don't support Trump, and I'm hella.
Alright, bro. Alright. That was like 30 minutes of dialogue, brother. That was like 30 minutes of dialogue. Hello, do you support Donald Trump?
The woman in Gaza.
I kicked you before you could like say anything in specific. I don't understand what you mean by that. I guess we're gonna let up a whole panel, see if they accept. Make sure you guys are friends. Free Palestine, absolutely. Wow, there was like no. Bless me. I went in circles for a long time. Hello, are you a Trump supporter?
Let's keep illegals in America because they also are normal citizens. They have done
Based. If you disagree with anything I've ever said, join up in the guest box. We are mainly looking for Trump supporters, though. So if you are a Trump supporter that disagrees with stuff that I am saying, join up.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
18,
What's your birth year?
2008.
Alright, why do you support Trump?
Because
They left. Do I restart? We've had some relatively good push. Over on the comments though. I don't know. Make sure you guys are double tap that phone screen, repost the live, share the live, do all the good things. That's the best way to have people in here. The best way, the absolute best way. Fox, I'd love to talk to you, love to debate with you. Thank you for the repost. Thank you for the repost. MAGA Mastercraft is in my guest Trump supporter. Oh, they're loading in. Thank you for the follow. Hello, are you a Trump supporter?
What do you support? What do you,
In reference to what?
what do you support?
I typically
It's
support
not a hard
progressive
question,
liberals.
kid.
It is. I mean, I typically support progressive liberals.
What's it about liberalism?
Liberalism? Yeah, the fact that we want to progress, liberals in general, progressive liberals want to progress America. It's in the name.
If you want to change,
Yeah, I want to change a few things.
what do you want to change?
I've talked about this before. Nuke the filibuster. We could also implement 13 Supreme Court.
Look, just answer the fucking question, dude.
I told you what I wanted to change. I want to nuke the filibuster. That's great. You're definitely.
What do you want to
supporter.
change?
Why do you support Trump?
13 Supreme Court justices. Are you fucking kidding me, kid?
No. Why do you support Trump?
Why do you want 13 Supreme? No, you're gonna answer what you have 9.
Yeah, a bunch. Yeah, a bunch of different reasons. The main one being that the main one being that it allows us to. Are you lagging, or why are you interrupting? Maybe MAGA Mobile.
Must be a lag, dude.
Definitely you are lagging. Fix your Wi-Fi. Be on Wi-Fi. Get on cellular, and then whenever you do that, join up in the guest box. We can finish the conversation. But as soon as you get up, I'd like you to address the point as to why you support Donald Trump. Over on YouTube, make sure to hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. Now you gotta be 18 or older. You can't be 15. You gotta be 18 or older. Should I just restart? Tell you what, 20 people on TikTok. I'm gonna. What's up? 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 So you guys are double tapping that phone. You can repost the live, share the live, do all the good things. As always, my friends, I appreciate you being here over on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, say what's up in the comment section, vote in the poll. Vote in the poll, vote in the poll, vote in the poll. I will be doing more debates for the next couple of minutes. No, minutes is a bad word. Hours, that is a better word. Hours. I don't know if I'm going to be on for hours, but I will be on for maybe an hour. Minimum. Max 2. Max 2. If you are a MAGA, join up in the guest box. I'd love to talk to you. Love to have a debate with you. Love to have a conversation with you, Nat, as always. I would love to have a debate with you. You know, there's a bunch of reasons why people say they support Trump. You know, there's a bunch of reasons why people say they vote for Republicans. But at the end of the day, it is the case that Donald Trump is the worst president of my lifetime. And it is the case that Donald Trump is the worst president of your lifetime. Republicans in general are worse off than progressive liberals. You know, whether it be the First Amendment, Second Amendment, 14th Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, articles within the Constitution, you know, and it just is the case. Was there a LARPing Anthony in my chat? LARPing as Anthony is crazy. Dun, 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 dun. Nobody supports Trump. We need a big change. Yes, we need a huge change. Something we've never seen before, you know? Something we've never seen before. I'm tired. Over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. I've posted, I think, 4 videos about debates. Yeah, I posted one an hour ago, one 5 hours ago, one 9 hours ago, 13 hours ago, and 17 hours ago, 21 hours ago. The first 6 most recent debates, they're all pretty short. They're all pretty like 16 to 20 minutes. If you guys want, go watch one, like, comment on it, and go watch it. They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. But if you're on the live, like, comment, repost, do all the good things. You know, things that you've never done before. We are close to 700 subscribers as well. I just restarted, so we should be getting pushed here soon. We'll see. We'll see. I saw something flash on my screen. I don't know what that was. Make sure you guys are double tapping that phone so you can repost the live, share the live, do all the good things. I'd love to talk to you, love to debate with you, I'd love to have a conversation with you tonight because he supports yeah, you're just weird. Liam, you're weird. You're like a 5-year-old max, maybe. Muted. You love Trump, says Louis. Let's get up the first guest of the stream. I guess the restart. Hello, do you support Donald Trump?
I do support Donald Trump.
Very bad mic. Very bad.
Is that better?
Yeah, why do you support Trump?
Phone disconnected. Sorry, I was in my car. I had my phone connected to my Bluetooth. All right, yeah, I support Donald Trump. More of his social policy rather than his economic.
Because he's doing shit in his economic aspect. All right, what social policies?
The transgender rights, and then also kind of
trans people shouldn't have rights.
We'll get there.
It's just a yes or no. Should trans people have rights?
Look at your comments, bro.
Yeah, should trans people have rights?
Do you not see what's going on in your comment section?
Should trans people have rights? Yes or no?
No.
So you just shouldn't have rights. You're fucking delusional. You're fucking insane. Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
You genuinely go fuck yourself. We're not talking about that. We're talking about something else. Why do you support Trump?
Okay, his social policy. I just
give me a policy that you support.
Banning abortion.
He didn't ban abortion. You're delusional.
I know, but he ran on it.
Okay, so then that's not a policy. What policy that Trump has passed?
But guess what?
Do you know what policy is? No, you probably don't. So, what policy, whether it's executive order or something he helped pass through Congress, did he do that you support?
I told you.
He didn't ban abortion. What policy do you support?
He ran on it, did he not?
That's not a policy.
Hold on. Did he say that was going to be one of his policies?
That's not a policy that he passed.
Okay, Jeremiah, you're
being dishonest. The question was, what policy did he pass through the executive order or through Congress? What policy?
Are you or are you not being dishonest?
I am not being dishonest. Now, what policy?
Okay, he ran.
I don't care what he ran on. He ran on no new wars, ending inflation, ending gas prices, no new wars again, releasing the Epstein files. Guess what? All of those have not been done. So what I'm asking you is name the policy that he passed via executive order or through Congress.
I cannot name a policy that he passed when it comes to abortion.
That's great. So name a policy in general that you support.
It's a good question. I don't know, actually.
Wow, and you're a Trump supporter. Trump supporters typically don't know anything, so my jaw did not drop. It stayed in place.
Yeah, so
What's surprising is that you're cocky and you actually are very unintelligent. That's the problem.
No, I'm just not
the amount of
gonna
cockiness,
play.
but at the same time, Trump supporters do have
no.
the amount of cockiness you do and are very unintelligent.
I'm just
so I shouldn't be
I'm just
surprised.
not
That's my own
gonna
fault.
hold on. Obviously, I know policies that he's passed.
So then name one single policy Trump has passed in his second term.
No, because it's not something that's relevant in the
It
conversation.
is relevant as to
right
why
now.
you support Trump. The reason why you support Trump
Hold on.
is because things he's done. What has he done? Things through policy. So name one single policy he's passed in his second term.
No, because you asked me a question.
Yeah, why do you support
And
Trump?
then
That's
now-
the question. And now I'm asking you
then
for a policy.
and then I said
to
abortion.
explicitly explain why do you support Trump.
Because he does not support abortion.
That's
and
great.
neither
That's not a
do I.
policy. What policy?
Why do I need to have a policy? Can I ask?
Okay, so you're saying policy doesn't matter?
Okay, here let's say this.
Does policy matter?
Hold
Yes
on.
or no?
Kamala Harris.
No. I'm
endorses
investigating your view. Hold on.
abortion.
Does policy matter? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So then the reason why you should support Trump is because of policy, right?
Yes.
Okay. So name a policy that makes you support Donald Trump.
No.
So then you're just refusing to tell me why you support Trump.
No, I'm refusing to go down a line of debate that does not matter. With
So you're refusing to debate. That's great. That's great.
No, you're trying to get me in a.
I'm
single
investigating
thing.
your view. Yes, I am.
No, Jeremiah, you're not.
I am.
I promise you. The way you argue is so shit, Jeremiah. I already figured it out.
You're
gonna
not
try to
answering any
trap me.
questions. That's very
No,
convenient.
because you go down a line of argument, a line of debate that tries to trap
To
people.
investigate your view, yeah. If it gets you, it gets you. If it's a gotcha, it gotcha. That's not my fault. It shouldn't have gotcha. You should have better views.
No, that's all you strive for. You strive for gotchas.
And if I gotcha, you admit I gotcha. If you're right now saying that I got you, and you're wrong.
Okay.
Right? That's what a gotcha means. A gotcha means you're wrong.
All
But you just
right.
refuse to acknowledge you're wrong. So what you're just saying here is I actually did get you. You're wrong, but you're refusing to concede, meaning you're actually unintelligent and you're dishonest. Which unintelligent people
so
are
you're not
sometimes
dishonest
dishonest
either?
on average. What?
You're not dishonest either.
You're not investigating my view or my perspective. I am investigating your view. So you can either concede, or you can give me an
Jeremiah, I
argument.
concede. You're gonna call me a good boy.
Okay, so then
Let's
you're
go
not
ahead.
you're no longer a Trump supporter, right?
No, I freaking hate Trump, dude. Jeremiah,
Okay,
you
Bez.
got me to change my views.
When we head to the next guest, if you're a Trump supporter, hop up in the guest box. I'd love to talk to you, love to debate with you, love to have a conversation with you. Tonight is always really for some people to debate. Ethan over here likes to say that he wants to have gay sex with me for some reason. So, how's it going? Do you support Trump?
Fuck no.
All right, you're a child. How's it going, y'all? How's it going? Make sure you guys are double tapping that phone screen, repost the live, share the live, do all the good things. As always, my friends, we're looking for some people to debate. Looks like Ethan is actually terrified today and doesn't actually want to debate me. Hello, do you support Trump?
Yep.
Your child. Quote unquote, he's so ass at arguing. You literally conceded to the argument that you support Donald Trump. You also conceded that I quote unquote gotcha. You conceded that you're unintelligent. You conceded that you're dishonest. You conceded that I am a better man than you. You conceded that you are like just a horrible bigot. You conceded all of those things. So W's in the chat for that. W's in the chat, quite frankly. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. Moving on to Ethan.
Yo, what's up?
Are you still thinking about having gay sex with me?
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
you were doing
always,
last
like always. Wait, you remember
Yeah,
when you
how old are you
posted that
again?
video? Remember that? What? I'm 19.
How old are you again? All right.
I'm 19. Remember the video
Why do you
posted?
support Trump?
Oh,
the video I posted
you
about
already
you?
know.
Yeah,
you
what
already
about
know.
you?
That video you posted that I commented on, that you said Trump was bad for. Wait, what was it again? You said Trump was bad for.
Oh, I thought you were
No,
talking
no,
about the
ICE
video I
was
posted
bad
about
for
you
saving
because
a
I
man's
clipped you and
life.
posted you on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. It garnered thousands of views, and guess what? People were making fun of you in the comments.
Okay, yo, answer it though. Answer it though.
What am I answering?
Yo, didn't you criticize ICE for saving a man's life?
No.
Okay, so what did you criticize them for?
For being a terrorist organization.
No, that video I commented on. You criticized them for a man that was starving himself and they gave
for
him
torture,
nutrients?
yes.
For torture?
Yes.
So what were they supposed to do? Just let the man die or what?
That practice that they did is commonly known and agreed upon as being torture. You can fact check it.
Feeding someone? Giving someone nutrients?
Injecting them with
themselves?
medicine without their consent, that is torture.
Okay, and what would have happened if they didn't do that?
They wouldn't have tortured him.
Nope, he also would have died.
What lead you to the conclusion he would have died?
Because he was starving himself, and they had to forcibly give him nutrients because he was starving himself.
Torture. You can agree, right?
Feeding someone who's trying to kill themselves.
No, injecting medicine is torture without their consent. It is torture.
The man's trying to kill himself.
In the medical field, that is commonly known as torture.
Oh, and bro, okay,
So you're just saying here,
dude,
in some instances, torture is justified.
Dude, okay,
right?
yo, and now
hold on, just to clarify, in some instances, torture is justified. Is that your position?
That's not torture, though. If you're saving a man's life, okay, let's say you had to. There was someone who's knocked unconscious,
That's
and
like
if
me
you
saying,
didn't,
if that's like me saying,
let's say your mom.
That's like me saying if I didn't rip off your skin, you would die, right? If I didn't skin you and rip off your skin, chop off every single one of your fingers, if I didn't do that, you would die. Meaning, if I didn't do that, I would save your lives. Would that still be torture? Yes, it still would be torture. You fucking idiot.
Yo, you get so pissed, bro. Yo, okay, so do you
think I'm pissed and you have no recollection?
Yo,
of what
let's say your mom was
Can you
like
address what I just said?
What?
Can you address what I just said?
What was it? What'd you say?
If in a hypothetical world, the only way to save you was for me to skin you alive, chop off your fingers, I would be saving you if I did that, but we can agree that would be torture either way, yes?
Do you think
It's just a yes or no?
No.
It's just a yes or no. It wouldn't be me
So-
skinning you
okay,
alive and
that
chopping off your.
exactly,
Hold on.
bro. Like, let me speak.
Hold on.
Oh
I am
my gosh.
investigating your view. You can investigate my view after. I am going to go until it naturally ends. When I have no more questions about your view, you can then ask me questions. So you don't think it is torture for me to skin you alive and for me to chop off your fingers, right? You don't think that's torture?
If it saves someone's life, no, it is not.
You're fucking stupid.
Okay. So let's say.
That's
so
just
you
like
think,
your argument
wait.
reduced
So
down to
yes
an
or no?
absurdity.
Yes or no? You think that giving someone a needle to save their life is the same as chopping someone's skin off and ripping their skin off?
No, but they're both torture.
Giving someone a needle is torture.
Giving them medicine without their consent is a practice.
Let's say your
is
mom,
commonly known as torture.
Okay, let's say your mom or your kid was trying to starve themselves, and the only way they would survive, they're saying no, you can't give me these nutrients, and the only way they would survive is if you gave them the nutrients. Are you giving them the medicine?
That's a different question. You're asking me. That's a different question than asking me if it's torture.
No, I'm what? I'm asking you. I'm asking
you whether or not it was torture or not. So whether
it wasn't
I would
torture.
give them,
It wasn't torture.
Give
Giving
them,
someone a needle isn't
it
torture.
is.
Okay, so do you answer the question? Would you?
It doesn't matter what I would do; it would still be torture.
So if
in the medical field, it is commonly known as torture.
Like if your kid was about to die, and the only way he'd survive is if you gave him nutrients, you would and he was refusing the nutrients. You would say, okay, I guess that's what he wants.
Well, then my argument would just be: do you think kids? Do you think kids can consent? Yes or no?
No, I do not think so.
Okay.
That's why I use the analogy with your mother as well. Let's say your mother was trying to kill herself and starve herself.
You repeat it?
Hello? Do you think if your mother was trying to starve herself, and the only way she could survive was giving her nutrients, would you give her nutrients?
That's not asking me whether or not it's torture or not, and I already answered your question.
Would you? Okay, just answer the question though. Just answer the question.
Would I do it? In the circumstance, in general, I would say yes.
Okay, so you're
I'm not a
you're gonna
doctor.
torture your mom?
I'm not a doctor. I'm not.
So
I'm
you're
not a
gonna
professional in the
okay,
medical
but
field.
so
I'm
you're
talking about. I
saying
said in the medical field, it is commonly known as torture in the medical field.
giving someone nutrients. Let's say someone was
Bro, you're just saying
unconscious.
giving someone nutrients.
Let's
No,
say
giving someone nutrients is not torture. Doing so unconsensually, either
unconsensually,
A
if
can
someone's
be a
trying to
form of
kill
torture
himself,
or can
let's
be a
say
form of
okay,
battery.
let's
So
say
all you're
let's say
saying
someone
here
was
is either A
in a
it's
coma.
battery or B it's torture. Which
Let's
one?
say someone was in a coma. Let's say someone was in a coma and they needed nutrients to stay alive. Would that be torture? Would you be torturing them since they're unconsenting to that nutrients?
That's presupposing what is happening before the coma. Like for example,
Let's say they got in a car accident and they needed the
in general that wouldn't be
nutrients.
considered torture. No, but
Okay,
this
but they're not
this
consenting
individual
to it,
was not
and they're saving their
unconscious, so
life.
that doesn't apply. That's not analogous. This individual wasn't unconscious.
Yeah, but she was also going to die if he didn't get those nutrients. And guess what? You would have said. Guess what you would have said. You
There's
said-
also like informed consent law. Do you know what that is?
What?
You don't know what that is.
What? I
There's
didn't
like
hear
a
you.
bunch of different aspects that play into a role, as well as like DNRs as well. There's
Mhm.
like a bunch of different things that play into like whether or not you can save someone's life, and if you do save them when you're not supposed to, you can get in legal trouble.
By saving someone's. Let's say. Okay.
Yes.
Wait.
If someone has a
No.
DNR, if someone has a DNR, and you save their lives, you could get into legal trouble. Legally,
Okay,
you could get in trouble.
So let's say someone is about to jump off a cliff, and you went to save them. Is that torturing them? Is that
Torturing them?
illegal?
What the fuck? What?
Answer the question, bro.
What the fuck does this have to do with your support for? I've already answered all your questions.
Okay,
We're going in circles.
Because you're just saying bullshit. You're just saying bullshit.
Okay, just
And
because you think it's
objectively-
bullshit doesn't mean it is bullshit. It just
And-
means your head is
wait,
filled with
wait.
bullshit.
Let me give you my
Because
take.
Donald
My take
Trump
on
fucks
Trump.
your
I
brain.
think Trump is a bad person, but an amazing politician.
Okay, do you think would you support Donald Trump if he raped a woman?
No, I would not. And okay, and then
Donald
you're gonna bring
Trump
up
raped
Agent
a
Carroll.
woman, therefore you're no longer
And then
a
you're gonna
Trump
bring up
supporter,
Agent
right?
Carroll, and then she took decades to finally come forward with their
On
accusation.
average, victims
He
don't
took
come out.
decades to
On
come
average,
forward with
victims
their
don't come out for
accusation, bro.
decades. On average,
So-
victims don't come out for decades.
So she came
Do
up.
we need
she
talking
waited
sticks? Do we need
decades.
talking
He
sticks?
couldn't remember
Do we
the
need- hold
day,
on,
the
pause,
week.
pause.
There
Do we
was
need
no
a minute
physical
talking
evidence.
sticks?
So
Okay,
a
we
person
need
who
a
couldn't
minute
even do
talking
that, bro.
sticks. Listen,
Like
I
what?
will let you talk for a minute. No interruptions. You let me talk for a minute, and we're gonna have to do talking sticks like fifth graders because you are unable to address anything I'm saying, and you're unable to stop interrupting me. A minute. Go ahead.
Okay, so Agent Carroll couldn't give physical evidence. It took her decades to finally come forward with the accusation, and she couldn't remember the week or the month it happened, she couldn't remember the week or the month it happened, and sorry, let me think, and I support Trump because of his objective economic increase. The S&P 500 went up 80%. He's had stricter ICE policies, and I just think, and I don't support the racism that's going on in the liberal community, where they try to fix supremacy with more supremacy. They try to bring down white people to bring up black people, and they ignore all the problems that's going on in the black community. And if you speak up against those problems that are going on,
Your
in the black
time's up,
community,
buddy. It's my
you're
turn for the
racist.
talking stick. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. If you interrupt me, quite frankly, it's my time for just talking. You said a couple different things there. I put a timer for myself on your profile because I can't do anything else. So you said he didn't know the year or week. She did 1995, 1996, late 1995, early 1996. That's within a year time frame. Even if you don't remember the date, specific date, year, time, day, whatever happened of a specific circumstance, doesn't mean it didn't happen. I.e., there are biological aspects that make a brain not remember certain aspects of a traumatizing event. That means that they don't remember. It doesn't mean that they didn't go through that traumatic event. The same way as like I could tell you when was the last time you ate pizza, like right, or like in 2014. When was the last time you ate pizza? Like, was it in December? Was it in November, et cetera, et cetera. You wouldn't be able to tell me the exact month, right? So my point is, things still happen even if you don't remember the exact date. So that's not a justification. Then you went on to say S&P 500. Okay, I'll address those. That has nothing to do. They grew slower, and my talking time is up. So I'd like you to stay on the Aging Carol topic. Go ahead. You have a minute.
Okay, you said she doesn't remember certain topics. Do you think that remembering the last time you ate a pizza and remembering the last time one of the most famous billionaires in the world had raped you, you would just completely forget that and you wouldn't remember it, and you would finally come forward when he's gaining traction. And I low-key forgot what else you're saying. Oh, and you said she remembered in the early 1980s. She said in a year time frame. I think it was, wait, you said it was a decade's time frame. She couldn't remember so it was in a year's time frame. She couldn't remember the single month or the week. So she can only remember the year. Something so significant happening to you, you wouldn't want to come forward to it and tell someone that the most famous man in America raped you. And Agent Carroll is objectively not an attractive woman. He's married to a supermodel. He can objectively have any woman in the world he wants. Why do you think he would
All right,
have
your talking
Agent
time is
Carroll?
up. Shut up. You have to use your talking time wisely. A minute. You said, what is the correlation between eating pizza? My point is to determine whether or not, if you remember something or not, that determines whether or not that aspect happened. So that's already out of the book. Then you said she came forward when he was gaining traction. Well, that doesn't matter. I would just ask you if you believe the victims of Graham Plattner. I would like you to answer during your talking time. So then, yeah, that would be an answer. So do you actually believe the victims of Graham Plattner and Eric Swalwell? And it doesn't matter because I would expect a victim of rape to come forward when the person that raped her is becoming the most powerful man in the world. That is the most perfect time to come out. In reference to that, you said early 80s. No, she got raped in 1995, 1996, late 1995, early 1996. That's when within a 365-year time frame, which is a definition of a year. So she didn't remember the week or month. I already addressed that. She said she wasn't attractive. Okay, just because someone isn't attractive, they can still get raped. And then you said he was married to a supermodel. That doesn't matter. Anyways, go ahead. My talking time is up. I'll give you a minute. Address what I said.
I didn't say anything about the pizza. When you referenced pizza, I referenced the significance of a moment. Like you're not gonna remember for the rest of your life when you ate pizza in September, but you're gonna remember for the rest of your life who raped you, and you think and I do not know who Graham Plattner is. I do not know who that is, so I can't debate on that. And my claim with him getting any woman he wants was because he's one of the most wealthy person in the world. Objectively, Agent Carroll is not an attractive woman. He's married to a supermodel. So why would one of the most powerful, one of the most popular people in the entire country rape a hideous woman in the back of a Tiffany store? Like what? There's and go on my claim of the pizza.
Yeah, I'm talking time's up. Before I start my talking time, don't refer to Agent Carroll as hideous anymore or talk about her looks. You're fucking disgusting. B, the significance, you're saying the counter rebuttal to the pizza analogy is saying the significance, okay, well, some people who undergo actually certain aspects of certain circumstances that are traumatizing, they don't remember, right? Because that's what their brain does. So that also doesn't matter. You don't know who Graham Plattner is? Well, I can enlighten you. Graham Plattner has a allegation against him. This rape victims came forward literally this year. It says that Graham Plattner raped her 5 years ago. She has therapy notes, told her friends around that time. My question is, do you believe her? Yeah, you said that he can get with anyone he wants. Well, that still doesn't mean he wouldn't rape anyone. You said she's not attractive again, and that he's married to a supermodel. Why would he rape a hideous woman in a Tiffany store? I know you listen to Charlie Kirk. It wasn't a Tiffany store. It was a Bergdorf Goodman. B, it doesn't matter if someone you think is hideous or not hideous. They can still be raped. Women and men can still be raped. Doesn't matter what happens between them. That would just be my things that I would like you to address. Go ahead.
Okay, so when I said the reference to the hideousness, I'm saying that Trump objectively can have, or used to objectively could have any woman in the world he wants. He's one of the wealthiest, most powerful men in the world, and one of the most influential men in the world. He wouldn't use his time on. He wouldn't risk his entire career on a objective, not very as attractive person as his wife. And tell me, and Graham Plattner, I don't know enough about it to not agree with it. So, and I don't know anything about it, so I can't debate on that. And I want to move the debate topic onto Alex Peretti's death, because I feel like last time we talked, you just skipped right past that. And okay, you got that now. Bye.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put myself a minute up here. Sorry. Hold on. Fuck, why isn't it not ending? There we go. Sorry. Hold on. Give me a second. Yeah, you said he can have anyone he wants, power and influence. My argument would just be that's sexual exploitation. Sexual exploitation is any actual attempted abuse of position of ability plus power for sexual gratification. If you're saying he can have anyone because he has power and influential, that is sexual exploitation. He wouldn't risk his career for an unattractive person as his wife. Well, my argument would just be he cheated on all three of his wives, one with a porn star, right? So we do know he would risk his career for someone other than his very attractive wife. Your words, not mine. You said you didn't know about Graham Plattner, whatever. I won't address that. You said you wanted to move on to Alex Peretti. We're not doing that. I would like you to address the fact that he has risked his career, i.e., paying Stormy Daniels and cheating on all three of his wives, again, one with a porn star. And B, the first point, that it would be sexual exploitation if you say he could have anyone simply because he has power, per the definition of sexual exploitation. My talking time, I'm willing to give up. Go ahead, address what I said.
I'm not talking about him being able to purchase women or use women with his power. I'm talking about the average woman would want to date a famous person, a famous billionaire. And I'm not saying that he could take advantage of anyone. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the average woman would want a very wealthy, average, and very influential person. And him taking advantage of three of his wives, when you're saying him risking his career by that's not raping a woman, raping a very unattractive woman. Okay, I know you're saying that's not something I should say, but it's objectively true. That cheating on your wife and raping a woman are two completely different things. And yeah, you got the time. I'm done.
Alrighty. Again, I don't know what I don't know what we're doing here. You're just not addressing what I'm saying, or you're misrepresenting what I'm saying. So with my minute, I'll explain them. You said the average woman would want to say them. Well, you're just contradicting because at first you said every woman would want to because he has power. So you're retracting your statement, or that's a contradiction that I'd like you to address. You didn't say anyone would. I noted that down. Yes, you did say that anyone would. I can play the clip back. You said and he didn't take advantage of his wife. He didn't rape them. Objectively, it is true that he did not rape them. Okay, well, A, he did rape one of his ex-wives per the court documents where she alleged that he raped her. But B, I never said he raped her. Your claim was he wouldn't risk his career for an unattractive person as his wife. That was your claim. My claim, or my counter rebuttal, would be he would, because he has risked his career, i.e. when he paid off Stormy Daniels, when he cheated on his wife with Stormy Daniels. So we know he would do things to risk his career that involves people other than his wife. Okay, I never made the claim that cheating is the same as rape. Those are the 2 points that I'd like you to address. Go ahead.
Okay, I feel like you're completely ignoring what I was saying before. You're saying that him risking his career while cheating on his wife is the same as him risking his career by raping a woman. I don't think those are two of the same thing. I feel like objectively what he did was bad when he paid off Stormy Daniels because he cheated on his wife. That's objectively bad. But the difference between raping a woman and cheating on someone is completely different. Wait, can you speak? I forgot what else you said.
Again, you're not addressing what I'm saying. You're saying, but I said that, the difference. I'm addressing your first point. You said that he wouldn't risk his career for someone other than his wife, but we know he has because he's cheated on other people besides his wife. Right? He's been with people besides his wife. We know that he would risk his career because he's done this. I'm not saying that rape and cheating are the same.
Okay, wait. Can I have a little bit more time? Because
Go
I.
ahead.
Okay, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying him risking his career for someone other than his wife. I'm saying he has someone who's objectively a supermodel, and objectively he's been with for a while. And why would he? What I was saying before is why would he risk his career on a non-attractive woman when he has a supermodel wife? And I think yeah, okay, I'm done.
Okay, I mean, I can debunk the unattractive part because he himself said that he confused E. Jean Carroll with his ex-wife, his wife at the time. So we know that E. Jean Carroll was his type, right? If you think E. Jean Carroll is unattractive, that is your own experience. But Donald Trump did think E. Jean Carroll was attractive because he confused E. Jean Carroll with his wife. And B, you're not addressing what I'm saying. You're saying he has a supermodel wife. Why would he rape another woman when he could just have sex with his wife? Well, B, why would he cheat on his wife if he had a supermodel wife when he could just have sex with his supermodel wife? Again, this is all subjective. Like, you're saying his wife is supermodel, whenever he's attractive. We know that he was attracted to E. Jean Carroll because he confused E. Jean Carroll with his wife. And we know that he would risk his career to do people other than his wife. I can give up my time. Go ahead. I just want you to address those points. I'm trying to drill on here the fact that he did find her attractive and the fact that he would risk his career for people other than his wife. Go ahead.
Okay, I feel like you're not addressing the point where cheating and rape are two completely different things. Like you constantly said that. You're saying him risking his career for someone other than his wife and you constantly keep saying, oh, but like, oh, he would cheat on someone other than his wife. Why wouldn't he just rape another woman? Rape another woman.
No,
I feel like
okay,
that's
okay. Listen, I'm interrupting you because we're going in circles. You made the claim he wouldn't risk his career for an unattractive person as his wife. Okay, that claim had nothing to do with sexual violence, sexual exploitation, or rape, or any other form of sexual violence. That claim had to do with the fact that if he would or wouldn't risk his career for an unattractive person in comparison to his wife. The way I debunk that is because he has risked his career for a quote-unquote unattractive person or with someone other than his wife, i.e. All the multiple times he's cheated on all three of his wives. Your claim inherently had nothing to do with sexual violence or sexual gratification or sexual exploitation. It just had to do with whether or not he would risk his career for someone other than his wife. Unless you want to retract that statement and say that he would risk his career for someone other than his wife.
Yo, you're like literally going in circles. You're saying risking your career for someone and his wife, and you're saying cheating on someone.
There can be many forms of how you risk your careers, many forms.
I mean, yeah, but one's a little bit more intense than the other. One cheating on your wife and one raping a woman. I feel like those are completely different things.
That's not the claim you didn't make about rape or cheating. You just said that in general. You said that blanket statement. Wouldn't risk career for an unattractive person as his wife.
That's not what I said. I said he wouldn't risk his career to sexually assault an unattractive person.
You probably said that after, but the first, unless you're now saying he wouldn't risk his career to sexually assault someone. Is that now the claim that you're making?
No, that's the claim I've been making. That's what
I promise you that's not the claim that you made. Okay, so what evidence do you have that leads you to believe this?
That what?
That he wouldn't risk his career to rape someone.
I feel like it's pretty logical because if you're someone, okay, let's say you're a man with billions of dollars, and one of the most famous men in the world, and you have a supermodel wife. Your life is on a magnifying glass, like 24/7. You would rape a random woman in order. You would rape a random woman when you could have any woman in the world who would consensually have sex with you. I'm not saying any woman in the world. That's a stretch. I'm saying
I wouldn't do that. Women. Trump would, and I have evidence for this. You are just going based on feelings. I have the fact that he himself has admitted to sexual violence. Okay, in 2005 on the Howard Stern show, he admitted to sexual violence. Okay, that is something that risks his career at the time, right? So what makes you believe that he's admitted to it before and now he wouldn't do it prior, right?
Like, he's admitted to sexual violence before.
Can you quote the thing he said?
Hello with the vagina. And what you could also say as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that. So you have done that. I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show. Yes. And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that like everything is good. You're there. Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
That, by definition, is sexual violence. Sexual exploitation is a form of violence.
He never said he was sexually assaulting women. He said he was able to go back.
He would sexually exploit women. The definition of sexual exploitation is any actual or attempted abuse of position of power, vulnerability, and trust for sexual gratification. What he did, he used his position of power, i.e. being the owner of the pageant, to watch women be naked with no clothes on in a women's only space, where he used his position of power to quote-unquote inspect it and said he would get away with things like that. By definition, that is sexual exploitation. So if you're saying in one instance he would admit to sexual exploitation, but in the other he wouldn't do it, that doesn't make any sense. I have evidence on my side, you don't.
No, you don't have evidence because you wait. Can I have a minute though? Can you do the minute thing again?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. You're saying that him being able to watch pretty women is quote unquote sexual assault or sexual exploitation. There's no sexual action being done there. If you look at a porn star on your phone, are you raping that woman? No. If someone is like your status, like you're just saying random things. If let's say I'm a coach at a volleyball, or like saying stuff in general. Like you're saying that the same thing as raping a woman is the same thing as looking at pretty woman. Like what are you even saying? And it even say that they're naked either way. Wait, I'm done. You got that.
Okay, so you made holy shit. All right, I'll give myself a minute just so that you don't interrupt me as well. Wow, this is interesting dialogue. You said watching pretty women is watch pretty women is sexual assault. No sexual action. And then you said porn star is rape ? Because that's what you asked me. And then you said that I'm saying random things, and then you said coach. You were trying to give like a coach analogy. You didn't give it. And then you said that I'm saying stuff in general. And then you're saying that I'm saying that it's the same thing as rape. And then you're saying that looking at pretty women isn't rape. And then you said that they weren't naked. They were naked. The definition of naked is having no articles of clothing. He said that they had no articles of clothing. So that points out. And then I'm going to ignore all the things you said except the first one. No, a porn star watching porn is not rape or sexual exploitation because of the fact that they consented to this. Watching pretty women is not inherently sexual exploitation if you have consent. The thing is, these women/girls didn't consent. Okay, that is the difference. They didn't consent to being watched by Donald J. Trump. Go ahead and address what I said.
Wait, can you?
Yeah.
Can you move to the video where he said directly that they were naked?
Yeah, I got you.
To say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation for a show. Yes. Anything else, and no men are because I'm inspecting it. You're like everything is good. You're there. Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? Can you keep playing? Can you play the rest? My God. Like everyone. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Everybody okay? You see these incredible looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that.
Quote unquote, is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everyone okay? And you see these incredible looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that. So he did say that they were naked because the definition of naked is to have no clothes on.
No article of clothes. If I say no clothes in general, clothes? Bro, like you're just clothes? We're literally going nowhere.
What is the definition of clothes? What is the definition of naked?
What
What is the definition of naked?
No clothes in general, like no clothes
You
completely.
said that they had no clothes on.
But they weren't. You think they were meant?
Just
They were
said that
women
naked
completely
equals
naked.
no clothes. So
Yo,
you can't say
yo,
they were
really
naked.
going nowhere with this? Can we like move on to like a
'Cause you're
different thing, like
stupid,
Alex
that's
Brody?
why.
Okay, yo, then address the other points, bro. Like,
No, go fuck yourself. Moving on to the next guest.
Yo, what in
Yo,
the
do you
hell
support
is wrong
Donald
with
Sloppy Dump?
bigots? No, I just gotta say, like, these people are absolutely insane. This dude is in chat sitting here defending him, saying that, like, because I'm a Christian, people should have second chances. What are we talking about? We're literally talking about a pedophile, convicted felon, a rapist. Like, what are we talking about, gang?
I completely agree with you. I appreciate you coming up
See,
here.
and this is the kind of people we deal with. This is the kind of people that y'all are, bro. This is who y'all fight
Literally the
for.
MAGA party. It literally is. I appreciate you for coming up here. I'm gonna move on to the next guest. You take care.
Yeah, go
Accept
for
your
it, brother.
follow.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, what's up, Ashton? Do you support Donald Trump?
No, I just think that the babies be tasting good and shit. So I love ice though.
Let me up. LOL, I'll just school this guy. Listen, you sent a guest request back up. I guess you did. We'll find out whether or not you quote unquote school me. Let's see if you can have productive dialogue, and let's go down the train of dialogue again, okay? I'm gonna investigate your view. Do you think
All right,
Donald Trump
Jeremiah,
sexually
I will
exploited
not
women?
troll this time. I will
Do
not
you
troll
think-
this time, all right?
Do you think
Okay.
Donald Trump sexually exploited women, yes or no?
As in, like, what's your definition of sexually
Sexual
exploitation?
exploitation is going to be actually. Let me just ask you the question since I'm doing the interrogation. What do you
Yeah.
define as sexual exploitation?
Looking at women without their, or looking, touching, women or men without their consent.
Okay, I would just add something on there, and you can tell me if you agree or disagree. You need to have a position of power, vulnerability,
Yeah,
or trust.
100%.
Okay, cool. So under the definition we just agreed to, did Donald
Yep.
Trump sexually exploit women?
Yes.
Okay. Would you ever support a president that sexually exploits women?
Would you?
Burden shift. Would you ever support a president that sexually exploits women?
What do you mean as in support? Support them as a president?
Would you ever
support
vote
them?
for them?
Yes.
If they so you would vote for a president if they sexually exploited
Mhm.
women.
I mean, I did. It's
Okay.
not an if. It's
So you're
it's
just
an I
defending
did.
sexual exploitation. To be clear, you're just straight up defending sexual exploitation, right?
I'm not defending it. No, I believe that Donald Trump.
What is the relevant difference that leads you to believe that you would rather have a sexual exploiter, which you agreed to, compared to the prosecutor Harris?
Because can you tell me anything that
Burden shift. What is the difference? Why do you choose a
okay,
sexual exploiter over a
What'd you
prosecutor?
say? What'd you say?
Why would you choose
Because
a
I
sexual
believe in
exploiter over a
Jesus.
prosecutor?
I believe in Jesus, and I believe that you should not hold somebody's past above their head. And
Okay,
the
do
real
you think
Cat
Jeffrey
9, hold
Dahmer's
on,
in
hold on.
heaven?
Jeremiah's. Hold on.
Do you think Jeffrey Dahmer's in heaven?
Hold on.
Answer that. No, hold on. I'm doing
No,
the
no, no,
interrogation.
no,
Do you
I
think,
will-
no, no,
I
no,
will
no, no,
answer.
no,
I
no,
will
no.
answer.
That's
I will
great. Do you think
answer.
Jeffrey Dahmer's in heaven?
If he accepted God, and if you're a real Christian, you believe
There
that
are
as well.
reports of him accepting God prior to his passing. I think he
Okay,
got baptized.
and you're a Christian, right?
Burden shift. I'm doing
No,
the
I'm
interrogation,
asking. Okay,
not you.
yes,
Any
yes.
questions
If
you
he
ask me
accepted
is a
God,
burden shift. So
if
you
he
believe
accepted
Jeffrey
God
Epstein.
into
You
his
believe
life,
Jeffrey Epstein is in heaven. To be clear, yes.
did he accept Jesus as his Lord and Savior before he
Yes,
died?
there are reports that he got baptized and accepted Jesus as his Lord and Savior prior to his death.
Is it like credible reports?
The only way it would be credible if he's am I saying Jeffrey Epstein?
I'm not. I think you said Jeffrey Dahmer and then Jeffrey
Dahmer.
Epstein.
I think I said Jeffrey. I meant to say Jeffrey Dahmer. Yes, it would only be credible if Jeffrey Dahmer came back from the dead and told us that he accepted.
Well,
Jesus
okay,
Christ as
then
the
we
Lord and
can't
Savior.
really talk about this because we
No,
do
but
not know.
I mean, we do know that he did get baptized.
Oh, he for sure did.
I'm like 90% sure.
Yeah, I mean, we did. I mean, that's something I can't really talk on because I do not know.
But like, let's say if he did, I'll get yes, Jeffrey Dahmer was baptized while in prison.
Okay, then yes, as
May
a
10th,
Christian, I believe that.
1994.
I believe any man within anything other than blasphemy if they accept Lord Jesus as Lord Savior.
Hold on. So would you ever vote for a candidate over Harris if they committed blasphemy?
As in what?
Like Harris
what do you
versus
mean?
Trump. If Trump committed the act of blasphemy, would you
gonna
support
talk
him?
about? No, I did not support Trump that he did that.
But
no.
would you vote for him?
As in, like, what do you mean?
In Harris versus Trump, would you vote for Trump knowing that he committed blasphemy?
I know he's committed blasphemy.
So you would support someone who's committed blasphemy over someone who hasn't?
How do we know Kamala Harris hasn't?
There are no reports. That
Okay, so do you know everything that goes on in her life?
Okay, I can give you the same exact scenario. How do we know Donald Trump hasn't raped 20,000 children?
Yeah, exactly, we don't.
So would you ever vote for someone who raped 20,000 children?
What?
Answer the question.
No, I would
no,
not.
so then you wouldn't vote for Donald Trump. I could just make the claim he has with no evidence, right? Unless you want to concede your last point.
Hold on, you're the one who made that.
And you're the one who also saying like we can't determine whether or not Harris has committed blasphemy. There are no
Exactly. No, because no, your original claim is that Kamala Harris never has.
Yeah, there are no reports that she has.
Okay. Yes, reports. Does that mean we know what has happened?
What has happened in reference? I mean, yeah, I think we could have some aspects. I believe that Harris.
Okay,
does
okay,
follow,
we'll just go off your
I believe
point.
that Harris does follow Christian values. I believe that Harris is an actual true Christian in comparison to Trump.
Okay, we'll just go off your point. Kamala Harris never committed blasphemy. That we
You would
know
vote
of.
for the person who has committed blasphemy comparison to the person who hasn't, right?
Yes, but just
Even though
because.
you agreed blasphemy is an unforgivable sin, so
Yes, 100%.
even if Donald Trump has repented, which he hasn't, you would still vote for him?
Yes, 100%. So do you not understand the Christian
So
perspective?
then what the fuck is the difference of whether or not he's repented? You said we shouldn't hold things up because they can change, but then you're saying even though
Again,
they
how do we
can't be
not
forgiven,
know Donald Trump has never repented?
it doesn't matter if he does or doesn't because he can't
How
be
come?
forgiven because he committed blasphemy.
Okay, he can't be forgiven for the sin of blasphemy. He could be, yes, he could be forgiven of his sins of the E. Jean Carroll
So we're
situation.
talking about blasphemy right now.
Okay,
Right? You
what
said
about
you support him because he's a Christian, and we shouldn't put things over
I
his
did
head
not
that he's done in
say
the
I
past.
support him because he's Christian. What?
Because you're Christian, sorry.
Yes. So
And you're saying we shouldn't put his past over his head. Well, my point is we should because the determination of whether or not he committed blasphemy is in question here. Okay,
Hold
because it
on,
means whether or
do
not
you
he was
mind
forgiven or
letting-
not forgiven.
Do you mind letting this real cap up? He's really, I mean, it's up to
No,
you.
I'm going
but-
through a point of dialogue.
Okay, yeah, he was just being stupid in the comments. Like,
I guarantee you he would destroy you.
Okay, let him back up. We can do this.
Was it the guy that was up here? Sure.
Yeah.
I'll give him a couple minutes.
Oh hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, how old are you, just to clarify?
Bro, I'm 20 years old. May
Alright, take it
23rd,
away.
2006. All right, my boy. You are not a Christian. If you can sit here
Hold on.
No. Let me finish
The
my
first
thought. Let
thing
me
you
finish-
did
okay.
wrong. The first
This
thing you
guy.
did wrong as a Christian guy is tell somebody they're not a Christian that claims to be a Christian. I've
Okay.
seen you in the comments doing it. So, what's your argument with that? How are you going to tell me I'm not a
Because,
Christian?
bro, what Christian sits here and like fully supports a known pedophile, and then you sit here and say, "Oh, well, Donald Trump has like committed blasphemy, but like there's no known like you know what I'm saying? There's no known things of Harris doing it." And then
You've
you
already
sit
made
here
two claims. You've already made two claims. Let's go over your first claim.
because, bro, like you've
Hold
got
on,
so
hold
many
on, hold on.
dumbass fucking ideologies that like my
Hold on,
brain's about
let's,
to explode.
let's go over it. Explain to me how it's dumb. You're a Christian, right? You have said
Yep.
you are.
In what way? Have you read the Old Testament and New, by the way?
I read the KJV.
So no. Okay, so let me just clue you in.
Hold on,
The
you
Old
cannot,
Testament.
Hold on. You cannot talk. You cannot
By the way,
talk.
don't
and
spam
then-
the comment
You
section
just
or you
literally
will be
cut
muted.
me
You
off
cannot.
mid thought.
No.
But I
No,
okay.
because you said like four things in a row. We have to, if we want to have a productive.
You cut me off first
dialogue-
sentence.
Yeah. No, wait, didn't you said 4
Yeah, you
points?
did.
Okay.
I said
let's
when I
go
came
over
in
it.
here,
Hold on.
I said you're not a Christian, and then you cut me off. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. First off, you cannot, as a Christian man, you cannot tell somebody they're not a Christian man that claims to be a Christian man. That's
How's
number
that?
one.
Where does that say that in the Bible?
Hold on.
Does it actually? There's multiple times in the Bible
Hold
where
What?
Jesus Christ himself even proclaimed that there were people saying that they were Christians and then they were not. He was talking about the Jewish people who put him up on the cross. They helped the Romans find Jesus, and then they declared that he was not their God, and then they spat on him and put a thing above his cross saying the King of the Jews to mock him.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hold on. I want to let you know that you could like question it, but you cannot physically tell me that I
Yes,
am
I
not a
can.
Christian
I can
man.
say whatever I want. I can say whatever I want. Just like you can sit here and say like, oh, I support and vote for a pedophile and
We're
rapist.
arguing in a circle. Let's
No,
go over
you're
the
making the
point.
circle.
Yeah, I think that's a common factor between our debate and your debate. So I think you're the one arguing a circle.
Yeah, thank you.
No, I'm literally trying to go point from point, and then he just cut me off again. Number one, you said we cannot. Number one, you said we. You're a Christian, right? I just want to go over. You're a Christian.
Jesus Christ, how many times do I have to tell you that?
Do you believe somebody can change? Yes or no?
I've already said that in the comments as well. Yes, I believe in second chances. I believe in, yes. But where do you, and you're talking about Donald Trump, by the way, who is a Jew, not a Christian. Like, where's your point?
On. Just because he's not a, so in your world, do you believe, hold on, do you believe any Christian, do you believe Christians can forgive other Christians and not forgive non-Christians? Yes or no?
What are you? What does that have to do with Donald Trump?
Hold on, you just brought up that
you are
not
literally
a Christian.
like you're getting into Christianity when we're talking about Trump being a fucking pedophile and rapist, just so you can deflect long enough to have any kind of ground. Like it.
I didn't say I support his actions. Like
Okay, hold on. Listen, I'm gonna drop you down because I don't think this guy's listening. I'm about to get off too. I'm just gonna try to finish this productive dialogue. You just said that people can be forgiven. Yeah, Donald Trump can't because he committed blasphemy.
Hold on. Yes, he can. The blasphemy sin cannot be.
Cool. So he can't be forgiven. So why do you support someone who cannot be forgiven in comparison to someone who can?
Hold on.
Harris.
Because I'm not supporting him based off of Christianity.
But you support him because you're a Christian, so it is the case that you're supporting him based on Christianity.
I don't support him because I'm Christian.
That's what you said. You said you support him because you're a Christian. I can play the tape back.
No. I did not.
How much do you want to bet?
Okay, yes, let's go.
How much do you want to bet?
I know exactly what I said. I did not
Quote
say...
unquote, you support him because you're a Christian.
I did not say I support him because I'm Christian. I said I'm not going to let his past define him as a man because I am Christian.
That's not what you said. Do you want to bet money?
Okay, go ahead. And if you prove me wrong, you prove me wrong.
Do you want to bet money?
I don't know because I don't know exactly what I said, but go ahead and prove me wrong if I did.
Sure, give me 1 second. You're just being ridiculous right now.
No, I will literally concede if you prove me wrong, and then I will go back on what I said.
1 second. Hold on.
Okay, there we go.
You sure you guys are double tapping that phone screen if you have not already. Repost
I'm not somebody. If you prove me wrong, I'm not just going to keep fighting down the same road. I will go back on what I said and say what I actually meant. There we go.
Donald Trump. What is the relevant difference? I used to believe that you would rather have a sexual exploiter, which you agreed to, compared to the prosecutor Harris. I believe that Harris does follow Harris if they committed. The question you asked me is a burden shift. Would you have answer?
I will answer.
You think Jeff?
Is it credible?
I'm saying Jeffrey. I think Jeffrey does.
Then we can't. He's. Yeah, I mean that's something I can't really talk on because other than blasphemy.
Hold on. So would you?
As in what? No, I did not support Trump that he did that.
But would you vote for him?
As in, what do you mean?
In Harris versus Trump, would you vote for Trump knowing that he committed blasphemy?
I know he's committed blasphemy.
So you would support someone who's committed blasphemy over someone who hasn't.
How do we know Kamala Harris and her
20,000? Okay, I can give you this. Wouldn't see your last point.
Hold on, you're the one
you can determine whether or not Harris.
That she has. Yes, reports. Does that mean
the person who hasn't, right?
I mean, yes, but just because
you agree blasphemy is an unforgivable. So if he does or doesn't, because he can't
of his sins of.
Okay. Earlier, Hold on. Okay, so you would vote for a president if they sexually
Not my whole argument. This
Yes.
guy's just
Support them as a
Would
president.
you ever in the sexually?
Percent.
Okay, cool. So under the definition we just agreed, burden shift.
Support them.
Which makes the power vote Donald Trump sexually exploit women.
Yes.
Okay. Would you ever support
that
a
was the
burden
start.
shift? Would you
As a president,
would you ever
support them.
vote if they sexually defending sexual
Defending it, no. I believe that
exploiter, what you agreed to?
saying
Burden
that
shift. Why would you choose
hold somebody's past.
exploiter over a prostitute?
I believe in Jesus, and I believe that you should not hold somebody's past above their head. And the
Okay,
real
you think Jeffrey Dahmer's in heaven?
Jeremiah's. Hold on.
You think Jeffrey Dahmer's in heaven?
Hold on.
Answer that. No, hold on. I'm doing
No. I will.
No.
I will answer.
Jeffrey Dahmer's in heaven.
That just showed you.
To God. And if you're a real Christian, you believe that.
Sorry, what are you saying?
Hold on. What was the claim you're making? I said.
That you support Donald Trump because you're a Christian.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to go over that again.
So are you conceding that you did say that? Because I have to go through like 9 minutes.
No, because I know I did not say that. Now that we rephrase it.
So you didn't say that you support Trump because you're a Christian. So why do you support Trump? Just to clarify. If I'm wrong, correct me. Why do you support Trump?
Hold on. Let's go back. We're gonna go back. You literally said that I said this, so we're gonna find
I'm
it.
going back through the 9 minutes. I'm doing it in the background. Why do you support Trump? Let's just clarify. Why do you support Trump? If it's not because you're a Christian, why do you support
That
Trump?
You can't support blasphemy. Huh?
No, why do you support Trump? Just tell me why.
His social views.
His social views on I'm assuming abortion and trans people.
Abortion mainly, some trans stuff.
Okay, well, I'm not debating you on abortion.
you know damn well I'm gonna cook you on that.
No, I don't debate abortion.
Why? Do you believe in abortion?
Because I'm assuming, are you a man?
I am a man.
Exactly. Perhaps. I mean, we know what.
You just did the first wrong thing of being a liberal, bro. You just assumed I was a man.
I asked you, are you a man?
No, you said I'm assuming you're a man. Go back.
I said I'm assuming, and then I asked you. I stopped myself, and then I said, are you a man?
So you assumed my gender.
Yeah, so are you a man, yes or no?
I am a man, yes.
Yes? Okay, that's why I won't talk to you about abortion. By the way, I can't find it, so I'll just concede. Because I did hear the part where you say, so I'll just concede.
Hold on, so I'm a man. That's why. So does that mean in order for us to talk about and stand up for child abuse, we have to be a child?
No, it's just what I do in my platform. On my platform, we can talk about child abuse, even though it's not children. On my platform, I don't talk to men about abortion because it's how I work in my platform.
No, and what you basically just said is your view is just because we're men, we cannot.
My worldview is I do talk to men about abortion, just not on my platform.
Okay, I mean, I respect it, I guess.
Okay.
That's really, but good concede. I know I didn't say.
I know you did, which I will find it and clip it. By the way, I'm just not going through that right now. I am just simply not going through that right now. I'll concede though. I'll concede for now. We'll come back. We'll come back to it. In like 2 weeks, whenever I download it, I'm gonna find it and be like, fuck. All these people in my comment sections are trolls. My head hurts. Fuck. Absolute bigot. So true. Damn, it's been 2 hours already. Tell you what, y'all. Corrupt administration, so true. Tell you what, y'all. I'm gonna hop off for tonight. We had 3 debates, 3-ish, yeah, 3 debates. I'll see you guys tomorrow. 3:30 p.m. PST. 6:30 p.m. EST, so on and so forth. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I posted a bunch